Hello everyone, I'm Chester44 and welcome to this Let's Play Blades of Avernum. Last episode, we basically happened to manage to, hear about, the rest of the knight's tale. A tale of revenge and loss, in a way. Now we're listening to the tale of the merchant, who the knight happened to say. Turns out the merchant has a package that he needs to go get, so we need to get it out there now. Let's go. From the outside, I recognized this inn from earlier this morning. I'd passed it on my way to Sigurdsson, which meant that whoever my savior was, he'd taken me further from my destination. I had my bearings, at least. The cart and the package were to the east. I had more important things to do. Maybe find that package before somebody else did. I was already late. It was a rush delivery, and I was supposed to have delivered the package that very night. Still, I rushed on, hoping to at least recover the package and deliver it rather than show up empty-handed. The journey to the cart side took frustratingly longer than I anticipated. I was on foot this time and was still feeling the effects of the fear dust. The sun had just risen above the tops of the trees ahead when I finally saw the tipped-over cart lying on the road. I rushed forward, holding my breath, waiting to see if the package were still beneath the seat. I was in a world of trouble if it wasn't. I was in a world of trouble already. There it was, sitting undisturbed beneath the seat where I left it. I almost wept, I was so relieved, but as it was, I actually wound up collapsing. The adrenaline that had kept me moving, even when I was beyond exhaustion, left once I had the package in my grasp again. I just lay on the ground panting, trying to get my second wind for the second leg of the trip to Sigurdsson. Uh-oh. The sound of hooves announced the cart's approach. I lay there until the cart was nearly on top of me, too tired or just unwilling to get up. Finally, I mustered the will to struggle to my feet. Oh there! You shouldn't be lying in the middle of the road like that. I almost hit you. The cart's driver pulled up just in time to avoid running me down. Just as well, since I didn't know if I'd have the energy to dive out of the way. This mess wouldn't happen to belong to you, would it? Unfortunately, yes. A shame. So you're left out here without a horse or nothing? Where are you headed? Sigurdsson. Well, you're in luck, because that's where I'm going. You could hitch a ride if you want. The cart's a bit bumpy, but I bet you'd get a better sleep than if you stayed on the ground there. Well, that would be great. He gave me a hand as I climbed into the back of the cart. Not sure if I could have done it otherwise. Well, don't mention it. Hey, you gonna need any of this stuff lying around? I don't know how much more I can fit back here with all these flour sacks. Oh, that's alright. Just leave it. Alright, then. The cart rumbled away. It occurred to me that I might actually make it to Sigurdsson on time. Always too late to be truly on time, but at least reasonably close to being on time. The name's Miller. Ethan Miller. I shook his hand, but had fallen asleep before I even got to introduce myself. A hand on my shoulder woke me. It was Miller, and he was shaking me awake. Usually I'm a light sleeper, but I must have been out cold because he was shaking pretty hard. Hey friend, I'm sorry about waking you up, but we're here now. We've been waiting in line for about an hour, but now it's our turn. From the position of the sun, I'd have said it was about noon. I felt much better after the first few hours of sleep. I went over to thank Miller, who was tending to his horse. Ah, hello there. You have a good rest? Good. No, it was no problem. You'd have done the same thing for me if it were my cart broken down. Now, you talk with a bit of an accent, and I'm not sure if you've ever been to Sigurdsson before. I come here all the time to deliver my grains to bakers and such, so the guards pretty well know me. They'll take a look at the cart and its contents and wave me through. You should have an easy time, too. They don't pay you much attention unless you're bringing goods into the city. Just don't do anything stupid, eh? Good luck with whatever it is that brings you here, Theo. It was good meeting you. He was a good fellow. I don't meet enough good fellows in my travels. You know that. You ever notice how few decent men you meet nowadays? I think that's the image of the guy who told us to go to the Tavern Inn. I was late enough without another delay. A surly-looking guard with a clipboard stood at the gate. He looked me up and down, then drawled, "Name and reason you're visiting Sigurdsson?" "I'm here to visit a friend." "Yeah, whatever. Have a nice day and all that." Sigurdsson. I don't know if you've ever been there. Suppose you have, but if you haven't been there recently, let me warn you. It's gone downhill. It all started when Lord Cromwell took power. You don't want a history lesson, and I'm not even the right man to give it. I'm just saying that there are still places where people don't live in fear. It's not the kind of city I'd voluntarily visit, but I don't get much choice when it comes to where my dispatches take me. The package was to be delivered to Samael of Warehouse G at the waterfront. I was to give it to Samael and none other than Samael. The directions were adamant about that. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to talk to anyone, but I look around, it's right here. Upper Sigasel North, Waterfront East, Housing District West. Someone has graffitied over this, so it now reads slums. Okay, not that way, not that way. I've gotten pretty good at finding addresses after making a few hundred deliveries, but I must have walked the waterfront for an hour looking for this warehouse. When I finally did find it, hidden away behind an alley in a particularly scummy part of the waterfront, I hardly believed that this was the right place. It was run down. The walls were made of old wood that was beginning to rot, and the windows had been smashed in but never replaced. After knocking on the door a couple times and no response, I opened the surprisingly unlocked door and walked right in. The place was completely unguarded. I was surprised to find that there were actually goods being stored in this dump, although there weren't any workers around. No workers and no guards. Whoever stored their goods here must not have cared much about hanging on to them. I can't even investigate them. That must be the guy. Who goes there? Identify yourself. Well, at least somebody was there. A package, eh? Oh, you're the delivery guy. Wait till the boss hears about this. I wasn't sure I liked the sound of that, but before I could ask what he meant, the worker, if that's what he was, had exited to the north. Quite a big warehouse. A group of men entered from the west and crossed the warehouse to speak with me. Something about their demeanor seemed off. Come over here now. Step this way, the leader said before he hastily departed. They led me down a flight of stairs into the basement of the warehouse. I had a feeling from the start that I wasn't there to deliver to a warehouse foreman, and now I was growing increasingly uneasy about what was really going on there. There was an armed guard at the base of the stairs and another following behind me. They were dressed in a blue uniform with the image of a flying banner on their chests, unlike any guards I'd ever seen. They didn't act much like guards either. Last time I checked, guards watched the warehouse, not the basement. I was ushered into a small, dimly lit chamber. The door was shut behind me, and I could hear a bolt being slid into place. Ahead of me was a table with 3 chairs. On one side sat an armored man with the same flag emblem on his chest as the guards. On the other side was a man in dirty blue robes and an empty chair. So, the courier finally arrives. Take a seat. As I walked across the room, I could see the outlines of more men standing in the shadows at the edge of the room. I dealt with some strange customers before, but I must admit the whole thing was disconcerting even for me. So the courier arrives at last. Silversteed's reputation for reliability is remarkably overstated. Or is it just that they sent me a lackey? Is that it? Are you truly the best man they have, or are you another blundering second-rate buffoon that fate seems so intent on heaping upon me? I inferred that he was Samuel. It didn't take much inferring to figure out he was unhappy about his package being late. I got here as fast as I could. Here's the package. As fast as you could was not fast enough. I clearly stated I needed it no later than yesterday. Do you have any idea what you've cost us? Do you have the slightest clue what we've lost because of your gross failure? You gonna sign or what? You fool, you scamp, you worthless excuse for a man! We have lost a golden opportunity because of you. We have lost more than you can imagine. All that we have done, all our plans have fallen apart. And it is all because of you. You have cost us dearly, and it will cost you dearly. I promise you that. The Azure Banner does not let offenders off easily. You will... A blue-vested guard thankfully interrupted Samael's tirade. Sir! I have half a mind to... Sir! What the hell is it now? Sir, I have urgent news. It will have to wait. I am dealing with this disgrace right now. I'm sorry, sir, but I cannot wait. It is very urgent. Samael finally stood and followed the messenger through the door to the north, glaring daggers back at me the whole way. Most of the guards filed out behind him, leaving just me, 2 guards, and the man in the chair next to me, who had yet to speak.
They'll do it. He isn't messing around.
The man next to me whispered out of the corner of his mouth.
Don't look at me. Stare straight ahead. But listen to me. These are dangerous men, and we have to get out of here. Samael wasn't kidding when he said he'd make you pay. These guys are after your hide.
What the hell for? I'm half a day late.
Yes, but your tardiness cost them the life of one of their best men, though it saved mine. No, I cannot explain now. Just listen. I have an idea that might get us out of here.
Alright, lay it on me.
There are many men here, far too many for us to fight our way out. However, I do not think that we will have to. You see, the package that you carry contains a teleportation device, and maybe I'll take it out.
How the hell do you know that?
I heard them talking about it. This whole place is abuzz with hatred for the courier that fouled everything up for them. I'm not sure how the device works, though, so it may take me a minute to figure out how to use it. We won't have that time as long as any guards are watching, so first we'll need to take out Samael and his guards. You look like you could hold your own, and I'll help out as well as I can. I think we would stand a chance. Far better than if we wait here for Samael to decide to kill us, or alternatively, torture and kill.
One of the guards began to take notice of our whisperings. Hey, no talking! Alright, let's do this. I said no talking! The guard strode across the room to stand before my new ally's chair and raised his hand to cuff him. But I got there first. The guard crumpled to the floor with a broken neck.
Untie me, quickly!
I hadn't even realized he was bound. It was hard to see the cords beneath his robe, and in the darkness it was hard to tell that he wasn't sitting naturally. I had pulled out my dagger and bent to slice his bonds, but he beat me to it. Suddenly the cords withered and burst into flame before falling to the floor in a pile of ash. A wizard! Perhaps I'd have some help in the coming fight.
I do not have time for this nonsense. I do not know what you think to gain by striking at my men, but you are clearly outmatched and outnumbered. Give me the package and we will allow you to live. If you resist, you will die. If you give it to me, we will go our way and leave you for the watch to find. Everybody goes home happy. Tempting, but I don't think so. Do you take satisfaction in trying to ruin everything I attempt? It will be a pleasure to strip the flesh from your worthless bones. Okay, you're almost dead. Thank you, friend.
The mage gasped as the last of the blue-armored men died.
But we aren't out yet. The City Watch has apparently found out about these men and is on their way. I don't know if you'd rather wait for the watch than use the teleportation rod, but I've had some troubles with the watch lately, so if you don't mind handing me the package...
I'll come too.
Alright, the package then? Thank you. This is pretty standard stuff.
He mumbled as he looked over the contents of the package, a slim ivory rod with a metal head.
Yeah, I've used one of these. I wonder what they have it configured for.
You know how to work this thing or not?
I know how, I'm just not sure where it'll take us. Yeah, I'm reasonably sure I know how to use this. Here, take a hold here. A bit lower, leave room for my hand as well. Good, now hang on.
Suddenly he turned to look at me.
You know, I don't think I caught your name. I'm Emery, by the way. You know, just so I don't die next to a stranger.
It's Theo. You know, all this talk of dying is making me have second thoughts. Too late. Emery had already pressed the button on the teleportation rod.
Cross your fingers, Theo. No, on second thought, just keep a good grip on the rod. Don't cross your fingers.
And with that, the magical energies enveloped us. Have you ever wondered how painful it'd be to die in a teleportation accident? Well, I hadn't before that day, but at that moment it was a pretty big concern. The concept is a pretty grisly one. Thankfully, I didn't find out. Solid ground has never felt so good. Teleportation isn't a fun experience and not one I'd like to try again. It had worked, though. We were standing in a clearing in the woods, just a short distance south of Sigurdsal. The city walls could be seen over the trees to the north. Emery was wandering around the clearing with a look of wonderment on his face. Kinda wondered if the teleportation had somehow turned him daft. Emery was still wandering about the clearing, staring at the trees and occasionally reaching out to touch a leaf or a blade of grass as if to assure himself it was real. I was convinced he'd gone off the deep end. You feeling alright, Emery?
Never better, friend, never better. Have you ever thought about how amazing all this is? Open spaces, green leaves and grass. Really is nothing short of amazing.
Alright, amazing, alright. So what do you plan to do now?
I don't know. Anything, everything. What does it matter? I have my freedom, and that is enough for me. Although I could use a bite to eat, I haven't had real food in ages.
I'm pretty sure there's an inn around here.
Yes, the tabard. I remember it now. They had roast pheasant that was worth 5 years of anticipation. Yes, I think I'll head that way. Not yet, though. This clearing is too beautiful to leave. Do they still have birds in these parts? I don't see any, and I've been looking forward to seeing some for oh so long.
Yep, off the deep end for sure. Somehow I doubt that. That's obviously the prisoner. And that's how I wound up here, without a job or a coin to my name. I've been thinking a man with my skills might find a better job, one without so many brushes with death. I had a few too many of those during my years with the Silver Steed. So that's it. I told you it'd be worth your drinking money. If you've never heard a wider tale, I'd be deeply impressed. And if I never experience anything like that again, I'd die a happy man. Well, thanks for telling me about it. I thought you would like it, and thank you for the ale. He indicates a pitcher which you are surprised to see is now empty, Theo having done most of the drinking. Oh well, you had ordered it with different intentions. Nice meeting you. And you as well, Bard. And that's the tale of the merchant, it seems. Alright. So that was a tale of getting him involved in something way over his head, it seems like. I don't know what exactly they were trying to do. Obviously, the prisoner's tale is going to have a lot of information for that. And it looks like the prisoner is going to be the next one we're going to hear the story from. But I think we'll do that in the next episode. Sure, this one still has like 10 minutes, but I kind of want to divide these up into bits and pieces, episode by episode. You know, we hear a story an episode. It kind of makes sense. The Knights one ran a bit long, and, well, if it wasn't for that, this other story would have fit in perfectly. So, next episode, we'll hear the story of the prisoner. Till then, I'm Chester44, that is the Bard, this has been a Blades of Avernum Let's Play, and I shall see you all next time.